Hi there, I'm Kristin. I've traveled to more than 60 countries in the last 20 years, and in this video, I share with you 100 top places to visit in a lifetime. Ready? Let's go. We kick off our list with Amsterdam, the Venice of the North. Originally a modest fishing village founded in the 13th century, the Amsterdam of today is the most populated city in the Netherlands, welcoming more than 18 million visitors per year who are attracted by the city's vibrant lifestyle and diverse culture. With its historical attractions, world-class nightlife, and picturesque bridges and architecture, Amsterdam strikes a unique balance between peaceful canals and bustling city streets. A perfect place for a weekend getaway. If you go to Amsterdam, make sure to take a canal tour, rent a bike, and visit some of the city's many museums, parks, and galleries. I recommend the Van Gogh Museum, the Rijksmuseum, and the Anne Frank House. I also think that the National Maritime Museum is pretty cool as well. And don't forget that there are plenty of day trips where you can explore tulip fields, nearby beaches, and islands along the North Sea coast. If you've ever wanted to visit a real-life oasis, look no further than Huacachina, a tiny village on the edges of Peru's Atacama Desert, whose oasis waters were once known for their healing powers. Huacachina is perfect for you if you're looking for a place without big crowds, or if you want to explore its expansive sand dunes, either by walking, camel, or a dune buggy ride. You can even surf the sand dunes on a sandboard. Although Huacachina is off the beaten path and far from an airport, it's worth visiting. You can get there by car or bus from the capital of Lima in about 5 hours. A tech and finance hub of Europe, London is a cultural melting pot with a diverse population. One thing I love to do when visiting London is to get lost in its maze of streets, popping into shops and markets like the Borough Market, the Camden Market, and Covent Garden Market. There are also more than 3,000 public parks in London, and when you work up or walk up an appetite, you can pop into one of the local pubs, some of which are hundreds of years old. London is one of the world's most visited cities, drawing in more than 30 million visitors each year. When you go, of course you'll want to see the most famous sites such as the Tower of London, the London Eye, and Buckingham and Kensington Palaces, but I also recommend visiting the Churchill Imperial War Rooms, which are located near two other famous landmarks, Westminster Abbey and Big Ben. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre is also one of my favorites. The British Virgin Islands are a tropical cluster of 60 islands spanning across the Eastern Caribbean Sea and North Atlantic Ocean. They offer some of the best sailing, scenery, snorkeling, and diving in the world. A perfect base for exploring coral reefs and shipwrecks alike. But closer to land, there's also plenty for you to do. The BVI's used to be a popular hangout for pirates, where you can visit some of the oldest rum distilleries in the Caribbean. And today, it's also a part-time home for a few people you might know, such as Richard Branson and Morgan Freeman. When you visit the BVI's, don't miss White Bay, a white sand beach with turquoise waters located on Jost van Dyke. Chichen Itza is one of the most important archaeological sites in Mexico and one of the 7 new wonders of the world. The site was constructed more than 1,500 years ago by the Maya civilization and still stands today. Monuments that you can find there and walk around on the site include pyramids painted with hieroglyphics, ancient palaces, and temples, which are all prime examples of Mayan architecture. The question isn't if you should go to Chichen Itza, but when. Schedule your visit during one of the solstices, when you can see the shadow of a serpent climbing down the steps of the Temple of Kukulkan, one of the most impressive pyramids in all of Mexico. There's no other city in the world quite like New York. The Big Apple is a global and cultural hub that offers something for everyone, especially foodies. Did you know that with nearly 30,000 restaurants in New York, it would take you nearly 75 years to try them all? When you visit New York for the first time, it's important to try some of the dishes that the city is known for, like bagels and pizza, of course. But after hitting up the top spots to see, like Central Park, the Statue of Liberty, and Times Square, check out Secret New York for some hidden local gems. When I'm in town, I love wandering through Greenwich Village and people watching from the High Line Park. Lincoln Center and Broadway, of course, are also not to be missed for some incredible live performances. And for the best views of the city's skyline, check out the Empire State Building, the observatory at One World Trade Center, or walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. Dubai is a modern city, home to some iconic skyscrapers, incredible shopping, and world-class attractions. It's one of the most diverse cities in the world due to its high number of international residents, and it's also over the top. In Dubai, you can visit the world's tallest building, the biggest mall, the largest man-made island, and the only 7-star hotel in the world. But if you're looking for some slightly less sensational things to do, check out the Dubai Coffee Museum or the Art Bus Tour. When to go? Well, although January and February are the best times to visit for slightly cooler weather, almost everything is air-conditioned, so you can see the sights year-round. Now we head to the Algarve in the south of Portugal to visit Benagil Cave, one of the largest sea caves in Europe that was also named as a natural wonder of the world. Benagil formed millions of years ago when the supercontinent of Pangaea split apart. And today it's become famous for its giant circular eye opening up in the roof of the cave. Unfortunately, though, it won't be here forever due to erosion, so visit while you can. This cave is perfect for the adventurer or spelunker who loves a challenge. If you're an early riser, you can take a kayak to the cave in the morning to see the sunrise and beat the crowds. Or you can take a boat tour from Albufeira, which costs around €30 per person. Once at the cave, you can walk around on foot, marvel at the beautiful sandstone formation, and take lots of photos, of course. Barcelona is an historical coastal city in northeastern Spain that dates back to Roman times. These days, though, it's also a gastronomy capital of the world. With more than 30 Michelin star restaurants, you'll never run out of delicious food and tapas to try. This Catalan city offers a unique mix of art, culture, food, sports, business, and beaches. It's particularly famous for its soccer team and Antoni Gaudí-style architecture. Make sure to visit La Sagrada Familia Church to explore one of the most impressive cathedrals in Europe. It's been under construction for more than 140 years. Park Güell, the History Museum, and the Picasso Museum are a few of my favorite sites in Barcelona. You may also enjoy catching a football game at Camp Nou. Paris is the largest city in France and one of my personal favorites in the world. To say that Paris has a rich history would be quite an understatement. From its amazing monuments to rich architecture, art, and food, there's no denying that this city will blow your mind. It's also home to some world-famous landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre Museum, and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Bring your camera with you too, because if you're like me, you'll want to stop and take photos on every corner. Hands down, one of my favorite things to do in Paris is to join the locals on the Seine River for sunset with a baguette, cheese, fruit, and bottle of wine. But also make sure to save some time to take a day trip to the nearby Loire Valley or Palace of Versailles. 90th on our list is Machu Picchu, the lost city of Peru. Perched high in the Andes Mountains, Machu Picchu is an Incan city built 7,000 feet above sea level, which has been inhabited since as far back as 760 BC. It's one of the most visited sites in Peru, with over 1.5 million visitors per year. As both a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the 7 new wonders of the world, Machu Picchu is a must-visit destination, although no one knows exactly how it was built. Some of the stones at the site's 150 buildings and 600 terraces weigh up to 55 tons each, yet they were precisely cut to fit together without any mortar. If you visit this site, consider hiking to the peak of Huayna Picchu, which can be seen towering in the background. Also visit the sacred Temple of the Sun, where Incan priests performed rituals and ceremonies. No one knows why Machu Picchu was abandoned in the 1500s, but fortunately, you can still visit it today. Palawan is the largest province in the Philippines, and it's been ranked the most beautiful island in the world by both Travel and Leisure and Condé Nast Traveler. Filled with jaw-dropping scenery, white sand beaches, and crystal clear lagoons, it's easy to see why. If you're looking for an idyllic place for snorkeling, wreck diving, and island hopping with fewer tourists than neighboring Cebu or Boracay, Palawan is for you. Visiting Palawan may make you feel like you're living on Gilligan's Island. Top locations to check out there include El Nido, Port Barton, and Coron, famous for its World War II shipwrecks. Palawan is also home to the Puerto Princesa Subterranean National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with one of the longest underground rivers in the world. To get to Palawan, you can fly direct from Manila or Cebu, or take a very long ferry ride with a potential travel time of 24 to 38 hours, depending on where you're departing from. Ranked as the most visited city in the world, Thailand's capital of Bangkok welcomes 22 million visitors per year. Vibrant and exciting, the City of Angels offers something for everyone. Whether you're interested in exploring outdoor markets, temples, or nightlife, Bangkok has it all. It's also a top destination for street food lovers and shopaholics. The world's most famous red light district, Pat Pong Market, is also in Bangkok. Although there are more than 400 temples in Bangkok, Wat Arun, also known as the Temple of Dawn, is the most iconic one in the city. It's located across from the Grand Palace on the Chao Phraya River. When in Bangkok, make sure to visit one of the city's floating markets. And of course, try the local Thai food or even take a cooking class. And if you fall in love with Thailand and don't want to leave, you can apply to stay longer with a Thai retirement or digital nomad visa. Located in the Coral Sea on the northeast coast of Queensland, Australia, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest living thing in the world. It can even be seen from outer space. Also named one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the reef spans over 2,600 kilometers and has more than 400 different types of corals, some of which are estimated to be 20 million years old. The Great Barrier Reef is also home to 10% of the world's diversity of fish, and it's the only place on the planet where you can see the dwarf minke whales. The best time to visit the Great Barrier Reef is in October, especially after a full moon, when you could witness the coral spawning season from up close. Nestled in the Taurus Mountains of central Turkey, Cappadocia is a fairy tale town known for its breathtaking scenery, unusual rock formations, and colorful hot air balloons. In fact, Cappadocia has been described as dreamy, magical, and remarkable, and it doesn't disappoint. Every morning around 5 a.m., some 100 plus hot air balloons rise up into the sky and float along the stunning landscape. But there's just as much to explore underground as there is from the air. In fact, Cappadocia sits on around 200 underground cities that have now turned into ruins. These underground cities and caves are now among the top tourist attractions in Cappadocia, and you can even stay the night in a cave hotel. If you visit this magical place, make sure to see the Huacachina Castle for a panoramic view of the city from the highest point in town. Known as the world capital of cinema, Cannes is a luxury resort town with some of the best beaches on the French Riviera. Cannes is a place you should visit at least once in your life, especially if you love five-star hotels, yachting, shopping, and fine dining. It also makes a great base for day trips to neighboring islands such as Île Sainte-Marie and Île Saint-Honorat. And it's only a 1-hour train ride from Monaco or 2 hours from Marseille. If you're a film buff or looking to see and be seen, the best time to visit Cannes is in May, during the famous Cannes Film Festival. But regardless of when you visit, make sure to take a stroll in the Les Suquettes, the oldest part of town, which is at least 400 years old. Just a 5-minute walk from the beach, it's filled with restaurants, shops, and picturesque pastel-colored buildings. I also recommend visiting the massive indoor market, Les Marchés Fourville, which was established in 1934. Budapest, Hungary is often referred to as the Paris of Central Europe because of its elegant architecture and beautiful landmarks. Luckily, it's a lot more affordable to visit, and with more than 100 thermal springs in Budapest alone, it's also known as the world's spa capital. The mineral water in these thermal baths is known to give a healing experience, and the largest and most popular one is Chichen, located in Budapest City Park. When in Budapest, make sure to attend a symphony, orchestra, or dance performance in one of the many theaters and concert halls around the city. Budapest is also home to one of my favorite history museums in the world, over on the Buda side of the Danube River. From Budapest, you can easily reach nearby destinations such as Vienna, Prague, and Bratislava, only a few hours away by bus or train. Or you can hop on a Danube River tour. If you go, also visit one of the ruin bars in the Jewish quarter that are built inside of the abandoned buildings from World War II. Though a relatively small country, Lebanon packs an incredible array of experiences, history, food, and nature all in one place. From the Mediterranean coastline to the snow-capped mountains of the Lebanon range, there's plenty to see and do at any time of year. Start your trip in the vibrant capital city of Beirut, known for its cosmopolitan atmosphere, lively nightlife, arts, museums, and culinary scene. Also make sure to relax at the beaches there or up in cities through Batroun to the north. The seaside village of Byblos is thought to be one of the oldest continually inhabited cities in the world, first occupied as far back as 8000 BC. In just 40 minutes from Beirut, you'll find Harissa, home to the famous Lady of Lebanon statue. But throughout the country, you can find ancient ruins and historical sites, notably the Roman complex of Baalbek. For a dose of nature, visit the ancient Cedars of God forest in the mountains, try a local wine tasting in the Bekaa Valley, or hike in the Kadisha Valley. Wherever you go in Lebanon, you're sure to feel welcomed by the warmth and hospitality of the local people. Rothenburg is a historic town in Bavaria, Germany that's been populated since the 12th century. It's known for its well-preserved medieval architecture and is one of the country's prettiest villages. It's also one of the last 3 cities in Germany to have intact original city walls. One of the best times of year to visit this fairy tale town is during the first weekend of September for the Imperial City Festival, complete with music, dancing, food, camping, and reenactments of torchlight processions and nights on horseback. It's also free to attend. December is also a good time to visit if you want to see the Christmas decorations, but you can visit Germany's 500-year-old Christmas market there that's open year-round. If you go, also make sure to admire the city's skyline from the top of Town Wall Tower, the tallest of the 42 towers in Rothenburg. Number 81 on our list is Prague, the city of 1,000 spires, the capital of Czechia, and the 5th most visited city in Europe. Prague looks just like a postcard, and it's filled with history dating back to 300 BC. There, you can visit Prague Castle, the largest ancient castle in the world. You can also see the astronomical clock, which is the world's 3rd oldest working clock. And you can walk across the Charles Bridge, one of the oldest bridges in Europe and a great place to take in the views or buy art and other goods from local artisans. Fortunately, Prague's historic buildings weren't too badly damaged during World War II, so you can still visit many of them today. You can also see a unique mix of Gothic, Baroque, Neoclassical, and Renaissance architecture that's hard to find all in one city. If you visit Prague, try a Pilsner beer or visit a brewery, as Prague is also known as being the beer capital of the world. When I visited Prague, I also liked taking a cruise along the old waterways of the city, known as Prague Venice, and you can do that for around €16. Next, we journey to the enchanting coastal area of Cinque Terre on the Italian Riviera. Hi, I'm Kristin. Thank you for traveling with me today. And if you like this video, then make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for part 2 of my new series on 100 places to visit in the world. Click over here to keep watching.